Heaven is crying, is looking for men and women that God can entrust. Ah, yes. Abokola. Jesus. Can He trust you? Can He send you? Can God depend on you? Can heaven depend on you? When He wanted to save a generation, He called Noah. He said, Noah, can I trust you? He said, I can no longer strive with men. Noah, can I trust you? And Noah and his family, was able to preserve God's dream. Out of 8 people, we are here today. God was able to trust Noah to save a generation. He was foolish enough to believe God. There was no rain those days. So what Noah was doing appeared very weird. It's like building. Shantala Kumbra Nemeda. Building a ship in the wilderness. They place you in the midst of Kalahari or Sahara Desert. And God said, build me a ship to save a generation. And you keep telling men, rain is coming. And you know for hundreds and hundreds of years, no rain had never fallen. And he said, God said rain is coming. He found a man who was foolish enough to believe him. He lent him his skills. He gave him his energy. Gave him his time. For 120 years, Noah looked like a fool. Everybody laughed at him. Just like God is telling us something is going to happen, and you don't believe it. We need to prepare ourselves. The Lord is saying, build your ark to save a posterity. You don't need to feel it. You need to prepare your heart. Because heaven is loading something to save this land. And it begins in your house. Noah swung into action. Early in the morning we rise. One piece of wood at a time. We went and cut. One piece at a time. One piece at a time. One piece at a time. The laughers laughed. The mockers mocked. The naysayers said whatever they said. But he was committed to obeying God in the midst of controversy. He refused to back down. He said, you laugh at me. Go ahead. The day rain came down, that's when they discovered the fool was the wise man. They ran. Noah opened for us. They didn't know. It wasn't Noah who closed the door. It was God who closed the door. When God closes, no man can open. They knocked. Noah, we know you. You are our brother. I say, I can't. No, we know you. Don't you remember? We ate at your place. No. I want to open, but I can't. Who has closed the door? God has closed the door. God moves in seasons. God moves in seasons. Please, I beg you, church. I know you're great people, but be sensitive to what the Spirit of the Lord is doing. We are not in ordinary times. I'm telling the truth. I'm not a prophet. But there is something loading in the Spirit and it demands a preparation. That's why the Lord has been calling us to a deeper walk with Him. A separation and level of fellowship you have not known. But many of us are taking things for granted. We're still carrying ourselves as usual. I'm telling you, you will knock on the door. No one will open. You'll say, I was with them. I used to pray with them. Hey, but there's no way. You remain in the museum of history. That's exactly what happened to the 380, when Jesus gave a command, wait for who? For the promise of the Father. There were 500 on that mountain. They all beheld Jesus being taken up into heaven. He was caught up in a cloud. They all had the voice of the angel. The angels came down and said, man, why look ye up? The same way he has gone, the same way they had the voice of the angel. They had the voice of the angel. They saw Jesus, but they still walked away. They still walked away. They still walked away. They had Jesus. Physically, Jesus spoke to them. But 380 men couldn't believe because 10 days was too much to wait. They walked away. On the day of Pentecost, they were supposed to be there. They were supposed to be there. They were supposed to have that experience. But look, where were they? They were all out, looking with the rest of the crowd. Say, hey, we were with them. People are going to make history in this house because they obey God. You will say, I was with them. I'm telling you, listen to me, church. You have to be sensitive and participate with your spirit, with everything inside of you. We sound normal, we sound ordinary, but let me tell you, these are not normal days. You have to press Him. The things that God will do with each one of us who are sensitive and walking in sync with the Spirit, you will be amazed. You have not seen when lives are transformed. You saw what happened to Joseph in one day from prison to a prime minister. In one day. This is a testimony that's going to happen to some people in this house. As many as are sensitive to the Holy Spirit. I don't know much, but the little I know, I can tell you. Please stop being petty, ordinary. Change your way. Lift your expectation. And your expectation can only be known by your action. When a woman is expecting a baby, she doesn't behave the ordinary way. Look at them. You can't tell me you're expecting something and you carry yourself as you have always been carrying. I'm telling you, by the grace of God, I've seen a little few things. I've seen people left in dry places and they watch and God pass by like that. May that not be your story. Press in, my brothers. Press in, my sisters. Press in. Tell Him, Holy Spirit, help me. This is not a service. This is a moment for you to pursue God. Jesus paid a very high premium for your life. This is not the kind of life He wants you to live. Say, I need value for the suffering of Christ. Your life must reflect the price He paid. There has to be a people who will say, no, Lord, I can't take this. We can't carry ourselves as usual. No. I grew up in the village. When they say there's a politician coming to the village, the whole village gets alert. Preparation takes place. Just receive a man. Things change. They kill cows, plant trees, or whatever, just for a man. And God says, I'm coming. And you carry on as usual. No, can't be that. Something must happen. If you are expectant, and the good thing, God doesn't tell you when He's going to show up, because He wants to prove your loyalty. He will not tell you when. You know, when you have alternatives, time is a proof. When God says, I'm going to do for you something, and he watches you, what is he waiting? What is he trying to prove? Are you loyal to him, or you're going to go for plan B? It proves your loyalty. Time proves your loyalty. Time proves your loyalty. It's time. If he's the only one and he's everything to you, you will wait. You will wait. Say, I have no money. But when you have alternatives, he said, that's why he said the eyes of the Lord runs where? To looking for one whose heart is what? Loyal. Loyalty is what God is looking for. Not perfect. Loyalty, not perfection. Loyalty. Loyalty, not perfection. Loyalty. Say, Holy Spirit, please help me. Do you hear the cry of nations? Do you hear the cry of people calling for help? Do you hear that? We live in an age where self is sitting on the throne. Everyone is looking after what benefits them. What do I gain? What do I gain? Is what drives people. What do I gain? Self seated on the throne. Say, Holy Spirit, sanctify my desires. Come on, tell him, say, Holy Spirit, sanctify my desire. Tell him again, say, Holy Spirit, sanctify my desire. God is looking for who? For me. We have sung songs here. We don't mean, does God own you? Does he own what you have? No. We sing nice songs, but we don't. He doesn't own us. You should wake up in the morning and do as you want with what you have. That's not the ways of men and women who have given their all to God. Say, Holy Spirit, please help me. Tell him again, say, Holy Spirit, please help me. Can God trust you? Can God trust you? Can God trust you? How did these men, how did they do it? They were able to say, I don't care if I die, I will die, but I'm going to stand for the cause of the kingdom. They saw something we haven't seen. They experienced something we haven't experienced. Their lives ceased to be precious to them. They gave everything to Jesus. There's some dimension they entered into. God must take us there. Many of us, our lives are still precious to us. We still hold dear our life. That's why when God calls us to do certain things. And please, I'm not telling you to enter into a world of faking stuff. No. Ask the Holy Spirit to take you there. Because if you fake it after 2 days, you will go back to your usual state.